Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning. Can I get a thumbs up reaction if you can see my screen? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all so much for being here today for our International Student Orientation Pre-Arrival webinar hosted by International Student Life. We are so excited that you are joining us this morning and that you will be on campus in just a couple of weeks. We're really looking forward to welcoming you to the UGA community and are hoping that we'll be able to share some information with you today that will be helpful as you plan for your arrival to the United States or to Athens. So let's go ahead and get started. My name is Sarah Weir. I serve as the Programming Coordinator for International Student Life here at the University of Georgia. And I will be your presenter today. And I'm joined by my colleague, Katie, as well. So our agenda for this morning, we're going to introduce some ISL staff. We'll talk through arrival details and packing. We will talk about some orientation information. We'll talk about after orientation, ways to get involved, information regarding immunizations, and then some campus resources and ISL resources. So we're looking forward to answering questions that you might have and sharing more information with you about orientation. Just so that you know, this webinar is being recorded and will be emailed to all orientation participants following its conclusion in our weekly email that you should be receiving on Fridays. Also, your microphone is automatically muted to ensure a high quality audio recording and will remain muted throughout this webinar. To ask a question, please type your question into the chat feature and send to everyone. An ISL staff member, my colleague Katie Hofswell, will be assisting with your questions in the chat as soon as possible. And if you have questions that are not answered through this webinar this morning, please email isl@uga.edu and we will get you the answers that you need. So I'd love to introduce you via photos to our staff members. So on the left, we have James Crawford. James is our interim director for International Student Life. And on the right, we have Lyndon Mathis, who is our administrative coordinator. These are faces that you will see frequently during orientation and after your time in orientation, just connecting with ISL. Additionally, over here we have Katie Hofswell, who is our graduate intern. She'll be joining us this morning in the Zoom room too. And on the right, we have Shireen, who is our senior world leader. You'll get to know Shireen and the world leaders very well during your week of orientation, as they are the student faces of orientation and will be helping you learn the tips and tricks for how to be a successful student here at UGA. So these are some of the people that have been working on preparing for your arrival this summer. I just mentioned world leaders too, and world leaders are current UGA students that are trained specifically to assist you in your transition to the University of Georgia and to the United States. We have graduate, undergraduate, international, and domestic students that serve as world leaders. There are 34 world leaders selected from over 100 applicants, and they will all be here willing and ready and excited to greet you when you arrive to campus. You have been placed into a squad group led by a group of world leaders. Your squad leaders will facilitate your squad times, assist you throughout the week, and help you adjust to being a student at UGA. You might have already been in communication with your world leaders via email. They might have reached out to introduce themselves, and they are a fantastic group of students that are going to be a big part of your orientation experience. Your squad will be made up of other undergraduate, graduate and exchange students too, which is a great way to connect with people that are also starting their time here at the University of Georgia as an international student. I'd like to take a moment for you to pop any questions, just to remind you that if you have questions throughout the webinar, to put them in the chat function, and either Katie will respond to them via chat or I'll be able to respond to them by speaking. So just as we go along, feel free to pop questions in the chat. So next, we're going to talk a little bit about arrival details and information. Orientation check-in takes place from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, August 8th, 2021 in the Georgia Center. For those of you that have registered for orientation and orientation housing, you will then be able to check into your hotel room at the Georgia Center. For those of you arriving to Athens via the Groom Shuttle, please select the Georgia Center as your final destination. The Groom Shuttle will drop you off at the building where we will be having orientation check-in, which is wonderful and convenient, and there will be world leaders ready to greet you and to show you how to check in. For those of you that have registered for early housing on Saturday, August 7th, housing check-in begins at 3 p.m. on Saturday the 7th in the Georgia Center. Even if you arrive early on the 7th and check into the hotel, you will still need to participate in orientation check-in on Sunday, August 8th in the Georgia Center. And when you arrive early, you'll receive some information on a handout that reminds you where orientation check-in will be taking place in the hotel on Sunday. Some additional arrival information. The Groom Shuttle is the least expensive and most convenient way to arrive to Athens, with departures from both the domestic and international terminals at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. For those of you arriving on Sunday, August 8th, world leaders will be able to lead you directly to check-in starting at 9 a.m. For those of you arriving prior to Sunday, August 8th, signs will be posted to direct you to orientation housing check-in at the Georgia Center. Upon arrival and following check-in at the Georgia Center, world leaders will help transport you to your housing assignment or off-campus apartment if you have not registered for housing at the Georgia Center. So on that Sunday, there'll be a lot of moving pieces between you arriving and checking in, but we are here to support you in making sure that you get through all of the check-in steps and then get to the place where you'll be living. I also want to take a few minutes to talk about transportation during orientation week. You received the transportation information form to your email last Friday, July 16th in the weekly email. You will also receive it again in the weekly email that goes out later today, along with a copy of the recording for this session. Please, please, please complete this email form to register your arrival time to the United States and to Athens. This form asks you to include information such as when you arrive, how you plan to get to UGA, and also asks if you would like to register for transportation during the week if you are living off campus. So it's important that all students complete the form. So for students staying off campus and have only purchased registration, ISL provides a limited pickup service for your convenience during orientation week. This is a one-time $25 fee that is charged to your student account for the week. It is non-refundable and non-prorated. The ISL shuttle will begin pickups from 7:15 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. on Monday, August 9th, and it will do that every day through Thursday, August 12th. The ISL shuttle will provide a ride home following the conclusion of each of the evening social activities following orientation. This time will vary depending on the day. The ISL shuttle will not come to your specific apartment. Rather, you will need to wait for the shuttle at the front entrance or in some other visible location to be picked up. The shuttle will wait no more than 5 minutes once it arrives to your location. And after this time, the shuttle will leave. So it's important that you are ready to be picked up to go to campus each morning. The shuttle provides one trip to campus and one trip back to your residence each day. And if you are deciding not to use the ISL shuttle, you must notify ISL via email at isl@uga.edu, and that applies to students that are living off campus. If you're living on campus, the transportation will be provided as part of what you've paid for in your housing option. A little bit more information about your arrival. Once you are on UGA's campus, you will be able to access Wi-Fi and the internet using the PAUSE secure network, utilizing your UGA MyID and your password. During orientation check-in, you will have the opportunity to obtain mobile phone service in the United States, as well as to begin the process of opening a US bank account. We know that both getting a phone number and a bank account set up can be important things to do during your first week in the United States. So we want to make sure that we make this as easy for you as possible. You will also be able to complete your mandatory immigration check-in and clear your VLP, or verification of lawful presence, hold once you arrive in the United States, but not before. You will be able to do this online through the website right here on the screen, istart.uga.edu. So that's something to do once you arrive. Be sure as you're traveling to keep your passport and other immigration documents in a safe place so that you know where they are and you can access them. And then when packing, be sure to pack enough items to be comfortable, but not so many items that you cannot move your luggage on your own. You will be responsible for getting your luggage from the Groom Shuttle to the Georgia Center. And we will have world leaders to support, but we'll be supporting lots of students. So it's important to find a good balance of packing enough, but not too much stuff. I'd like to take a moment to pause and to remind you to add any questions into the chat function of Zoom that we can answer as we're going through. Okay, we will keep going and I will answer questions and Katie will answer questions as they come in. The next topic we're going to talk about is the orientation schedule and information about what will be going on during the week of orientation. So during check-in, you will be able to download the Welcome to UGA app on your mobile device to access the digital orientation schedule. Typically, you can expect sessions to begin each day at 9:00 a.m. and ending around 5:00 p.m. with social events beginning after dinner if you would like to participate in them. Our app will also have other useful information to help you get around campus and to get oriented in your first week here. Orientation officially begins at 4:45 p.m. on Sunday, August 8th, 2021 in the Georgia Center with our welcome, and it will be followed by a welcome dinner. Throughout the week, there will be a mixture of large group sessions, world leader squad time, getting to know your peers and your student leaders, and social events in the evenings for orientation participants. Some highlights to look forward to include the Downtown Adventure, where you'll get to explore downtown and get to know Athens, a world leader game night, movie night, and an ice cream social. If you are bringing dependents or family members with you, they are also welcome to join us for the social events. Some highlights for all students include a campus and community resources fair, touring the University Health Center, learning about health insurance in the US. Immigration Services will be giving a presentation. There will be campus tours led by your world leaders, sessions on academic adjustment, cultural adjustment, UGA resources, and more. And these will be led by student leaders along with campus partners and ISL staff members throughout the week. So for example, here are some of the things that you can look forward to depending on if you are an undergraduate student, a graduate student, or an exchange student. Undergrads will have the opportunity to go to an academic advising session. They'll have a mock class with a UGA faculty member to practice being a student and to see what it's like with an American or a US faculty member. They'll have a chance to learn about academic advising and course registration and have a faculty panel with current faculty members. Graduate students will have things catered to their needs as well. So an academic writing workshop with a UGA faculty member, a faculty panel with faculty members, international TA training for teaching assistants, and additionally graduate school professional development. Exchange students will have time that is dedicated with the Office of Global Engagement staff. They will talk about academic adjustments specific to being an exchange student, and also about ways to get involved on campus as an exchange student. And all of this information and more will be on the scheduling app that we'll be sharing with you in the coming weeks. I also want to show you some of the places where you'll be spending time during the week of orientation. This is a photo of the Georgia Center. So this is where, if you're taking the Groom Shuttle or the Megabus to be dropped off on campus, you will be delivered to the Georgia Center. This is also where orientation check-in will happen on Sunday, August 8th from 9 to 3. If you have registered for orientation housing, you will be staying in the Georgia Center unless you've heard from us otherwise that you'll be living in your permanent housing assignment. We will also have the welcome dinner and various sessions in the Georgia Center. And it's a wonderful space that we're looking forward to welcoming you to. This is Bolton Dining Commons. Most orientation meals will be eaten in this space. And it is located conveniently right across the street from the Miller Learning Center. So this is an academic building that is centrally located on campus, where we will have a lot of orientation sessions throughout the week. I'm going to take a moment to pause and see if we have any questions to answer. It looks like someone asked, is it appropriate to book the Groom Shuttle departing 2.5 hours after from the arrival time of my flights? And Katie has responded to that question. Katie, do you want to share any additional information there?
Yeah, definitely. So the Groom Shuttle website will be your best source of information. There is always a chance that you may experience a delay in your flight, but you can easily rebook the Groom Shuttle through that website. So I personally would just take a look at the FAQs on there, but typically 2.5 hours will be enough time to get through customs. And for the next question, do exchange students move into their regular housing for the term right away, or do they stay in a different location during orientation week? So this depends on where you will be living on campus. If your on-campus residence is available at the time that orientation starts, you are able to move in there. Or if you are living off campus, you will be able to move in there if your lease starts. But it really depends on your housing situation for this year. So I would email the ISL email account, which I can put in the chat right now, if you're still unsure about your living situation. So if your housing is not available at the time that orientation starts, we will have you staying in the Georgia Center for orientation and then help you move in after orientation is over. I'll put that link right now to our email.
Thank you, Katie, and thank you for the questions that we got through the chat. Feel free to keep asking questions as we go along. The next thing we're going to talk about is after orientation. So following orientation, for students that have purchased the registration only for orientation, the program officially ends following the ice cream social on Thursday evening, August 12th. We're really looking forward to this event to share ice cream, to connect with one another, and it's also an opportunity to come get your photo taken with one of our favorite UGA figures, Harry Dog. And you can look up an image of Harry Dog online if you're interested in learning more about Harry Dog. For orientation and housing students, so if you have selected both orientation and that you need housing, orientation housing checkout begins in the Georgia Center at 7:30 a.m. on Friday, August 13th. There will not be breakfast on this day, which is important to remember. Shuttles will be present to assist you with moving into your permanent residence upon checkout. So we will help you get from you and your belongings from the Georgia Center to your living assignment. And then following that move out on Friday, August 13th, or if you are already in your permanent living situation for the year, you have time on Friday, August 13th to work on tasks that you need to get accomplished before the start of the semester. For example, for graduate students and exchange students, there is an opportunity to schedule a COVID-19 vaccine if you so choose from the health center. There is a link that will go out in our email later today with instructions for how to request an appointment. It is not required to get a COVID vaccine. However, it is encouraged by the university. Additionally, Friday, August 13th is a day where you can set up bank accounts downtown. Our partner, Bank of America, will be accepting visits from international students from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Friday, August 13th. Additionally, on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. downtown to help you get set up for your financial needs. There are also additional banking options downtown, and we're happy to share more information about different options through our scheduling app. And classes begin on Wednesday, August 18th. So you'll have a little bit of time after orientation and before classes start. And right before classes start, there will be an opportunity called Fresh Check UGA Day, which is an opportunity for incoming first-year undergraduate students to connect with various campus partners at Stegman Coliseum, and it's a well-being check-in. So there will be different booths set up so that you can learn about different ways to stay healthy and to maintain your personal wellness during your time at UGA. Additionally, after orientation, we hope that you will stay connected with international student life by attending International Coffee Hour every Friday. It'll take place from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Memorial Hall Ballroom, which is close to the ISL office. It's an opportunity for people to come together, to drink coffee, to try food, and to connect and share about different cultures from around the world. So we really hope that you will join us for this social opportunity. We also encourage you to sign up to join the Global Buddies program. The Global Buddies program matches international and domestic students to build cross-cultural friendships during their time here at UGA. It is open to all students, faculty, and staff members here at the university, and we hope you'll consider joining. More information about it can be found on our website. We also have a program called Language Labs, and Language Labs is a great opportunity for you to practice your English speaking skills and to learn more about UGA and US culture in a casual, low-key setting. It is led by students, and you can sign up for it and different sessions throughout the semester on our website at isl.uga.edu. We also, as a department, advise 13 different identity and culturally based student organizations, ranging from the African Student Union to the Chinese Student and Scholar Association, and that full list can be found on our website as well. And if you're looking for ways to get plugged in and involved, that is a great way to meet new people and to get connected to the communities here at UGA. Additionally, there are over 800 student organizations on campus, and there are opportunities to get connected with them too. And finally, applying to be a world leader if you decide that you have a wonderful orientation experience and want to be able to support international students in the future as they transition to life at UGA. We love having international students that have gone through our program contribute back and get to support students coming in the future as through our world leadership opportunity. And applications for this experience will be available in October. We also have something called Welcome UGA. So this is an initiative across campus that on the calendar, so welcome.uga.edu, you can see different events happening all over campus in the first 6 weeks of the semester. So if you're looking for different ways to get involved, different things to try out as you start your time here, I recommend going to this website and seeing what is available and what might interest you. We also want you to know that ISL, or the Department of International Student Life, is here for you. We are here to support you in your transition from wherever you are coming from as your home to here in Athens. And we are located in 210 Memorial Hall. We're open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Our phone number is listed and our email as well. And this is a picture of Memorial. It is right next to the football stadium, which you can't really see in this picture, but we're centrally located on campus, and we hope you'll come visit us too. Going to take another moment for questions before we'll transition into a couple of other topics. Katie, would you like to respond to any questions or share any that have been interesting so far?
Yeah, so we had a question about social security numbers for international students. And an example of what you would use that for is obtaining a driver's license. So we will be able to kind of get you on the road to applying for that or checking your eligibility at the immigration desk at check-in. So when you complete your verification of lawful presence, you can speak with someone about getting that social security number to move forward.
Thank you, Katie. I'd also like to share, if you have questions regarding your visa or compliance, please direct those to immigration@uga.edu, and they are very well equipped to help you answer those questions. And I will, Katie, would you actually mind putting immigration@uga.edu, the email address, in the chat? Thank you very much. Okay, the next topic we're going to talk about is immunization and health center information. Uh-oh. Please bear with me. The presentation decided to take a pause. We'll get back right to where we were. Technical difficulties. Okay, here we go. Thanks for bearing with me. So all UGA students are required to be immunized for MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella, varicella, chickenpox, tetanus, hepatitis B, and to complete a tuberculosis screening. You can send in your health records information now to the University Health Center. And we'll be sending out a copy of these slides and links as well so that you have access to it. But the website for the University Health Center is uhs.uga.edu/info/immunizations. And Katie can share that. Perfect. Undergraduate students can complete immunizations during orientation on Thursday, August 12th, during a tour of the health center. So that time is built into orientation for undergrad students. Graduate students, you have the option of signing up for vaccines on Friday, August 13th. Same with exchange. The University Health Center is committed to assisting international students in their transition to the US and to the US healthcare system. They've prepared a website specific for international student resources at the University Health Center, which can be found through the link that we will share with you too. Additionally, I want to share some information about the COVID-19 vaccination. The Pfizer vaccine is optional and available to all UGA students. Graduate and exchange students can sign up to schedule a vaccine. The link will be on the slide and additionally will be in the email that we send out later today. And it was in the email we sent out last week as well. And you will be able to sign up and participate in COVID surveillance testing upon arrival at orientation check-in. I would like to emphasize that vaccination is not required, but is encouraged by the university. Undergraduate students can sign up to receive the vaccine during their tour of the health center on Thursday, August 12th. We also have some information about Alcohol EDU and Haven. So all incoming undergraduate students and transfer students must complete both Alcohol EDU and Haven, their online training modules. These programs are educational surrounding alcohol awareness and sexual assault prevention and can be completed online. You can learn more about these programs online through the Health Center, and they must be completed for undergraduate students and transfer students. The Health Center has extended the deadline specifically for international students to Friday, August 20th for all incoming international undergrad and transfer students. You will also have a session dedicated to Health Center announcements during orientation, and a representative from the Health Center will be able to answer your questions specifically related to this training. And you can find more information on their website in the meantime. Once again, an opportunity to ask questions, and Katie and I will continue to answer them in the chat as we go along. Our next section is on campus resources. On this slide, we have a long list of campus resources. So these different departments, starting with international student life and immigration services, they range all across campus. But I want to emphasize that all of these different departments on campus are here to support you as UGA students. We are here to support you as you transition academically, socially, logistically, and culturally to being a UGA student and a Bulldog here on campus. And depending on what your specific needs are and what your interests are, we can help connect you with the resources and support you need during your time as a UGA student. If you are looking for things to do leading up to your departure to come join us, I would encourage you to check out the websites such as the Career Center, recreational sports, dining services, LGBT Resource Center, any of these links that are listed on this page to see more about what is offered to you as a UGA student. Once again, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. And then I finally would like to speak a little bit about ISL resources as well. So we recognize that as you are coming to start your time here at UGA, there will be various things you need to help set you up for success as a student. And we recognize that your needs might be unique and different from the needs of a domestic student. So we have compiled a library of resources for you as international students on our website. So at isl.uga.edu/resources, you can find various articles and graphics and resources that will support you with things ranging from how to set up a bank account, different educational differences that you might experience as a student here, information about financial aid, information about food and shopping, getting a Georgia driver's license, sort of a variety of things that might be of interest and of help to you as you get started here at UGA. So I would encourage you to check out this website if you have time. Once again, an opportunity to ask questions. And we're going to wrap up our presentation by talking through a couple of pre-orientation tasks for you to complete. So making sure that all of your health forms are submitted to the University Health Center is very important. We will also have someone at orientation check-in that will be able to answer your questions and collect your forms at this time. Also, please, please, please register for your UGA 1 card. Your UGA 1 card is an identification card that you will have as a student, and it will help you access buildings. It will help you swipe into different events, and is important for you to go ahead and set up. If you set it up before coming to campus in the next couple of weeks, we will be able to have your card ready for you at check-in. So please go ahead and go through that process. Additionally, please complete the orientation transportation survey as we talked about earlier in this webinar. And then a couple of reminders for undergraduate and undergraduate exchange students to complete your alcohol EDU and Haven programs, and then for graduate students and exchange students to register for a COVID vaccine if you so choose. It is not required. So those are some action items for you to be working on prior to orientation. And with that, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today for our pre-arrival orientation webinar. We are so excited to welcome you to campus and to see you at orientation check-in on Sunday, August 8th. And please email isl@uga.edu with any questions you might have, or you can put them in the chat function and we will answer your questions. But besides that, you are free to go, and thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful day, and stick around if you'd like to pose any questions for us to answer. Thank you.